Somewhere over the rainbow, birds fly over the rainbow.
Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my ranking for my top 10 favorite movies of 2018. So, for this list, I'm doing the movies of 2018, and this is part of a series I'm doing where I rank my favorite movies of each year since I was born. And so I'm going to go ahead and just get going on this. Coming in at number 10 is Deadpool 2. I absolutely love the first Deadpool movie, and I thought that this one was even better. The action is better, the comedy is a lot better. There's a lot of really fun moments throughout this movie, especially the scene where the X-Force are jumping out of the plane and everything. It's just absolutely hilarious fun, and there's a lot of really other good moments throughout the movie. But I think Deadpool 2 is a really welcome addition to the trilogy and everything, and I feel like it was just a little bit better than the first one. It's a really good one. So Deadpool 2 is number 10, and number 9 is Ready Player One. I absolutely love this movie. This is a Spielberg movie that kind of takes inspiration from Willy Wonka, where there's a golden ticket and whoever finds it in this video game world becomes the owner of this video game world. It's called the virtual reality video game world, called the Oasis, I think is what it's called. I don't remember. I haven't seen the movie in a while, but it's a really good movie. It's got a lot of cool action and stuff. The animation is really good and everything, and it's just a really fun time. It's one that I always enjoy when I watch it, and I think it's a really fun time. I wouldn't say it's Spielberg's best movie in a long time, because I think he's had other movies that were better than this in recent years, but I do still think it's a really good one and everything. So Ready Player One is number 9, and number 8 is Bumblebee. This is a really, really good Transformers movie. In fact, it's my favorite out of the Transformers movies and everything. It's just a lot of fun. Haley Steinfeld is just absolutely great in here. Bumblebee is really lovable like he always is, and the action is really good. It's scaled down and everything. It's not as action-packed as some of the other Transformers movies, but it's still really good. John Cena is a good villain, and I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. So Bumblebee is number 8, and number 7 is Incredibles 2. This is a really, really fun sequel to The Incredibles. I've always enjoyed this movie quite a bit. I never understood the hate that it gets and everything. I think, honestly, the reason it does get hate and crapped on so much is because people wanted so much more out of it, because it took almost 15 years for this movie to even happen and everything. And I think people were just way too hyped on it and expected it to be just as good as the original, and I went in expecting it to be fun, but not as fun as the original, and I was entertained just enough with it and everything. I think it's a good time and a good movie and everything. So Incredibles 2 is number 7, and number 6 is Instant Family. This is a really fun family movie with Mark Wahlberg and Rose Byrne is this couple who adopts these kids and everything, and when it just pretty much is about them trying to get used to their lives together with these kids and everything, and going through all the typical stuff that you get when you adopt kids in movies. Like the typical kids don't always want to warm up to you, and they have all kinds of tropes that you expect out of this type of movie, but it's just handled really, really well. It's got a lot of heart, really likable characters and everything. You want to see this family end up together and stuff by the end of it, and just really tugs at your heartstrings and stuff. So I really love this movie, and I don't think it gets talked about enough, so I'm gonna go as far to say that I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it and everything. Instant Family is a really good movie. So it's number 6, and number 5 is Hereditary. This is a really good movie too. I've always really loved this one. Ari Aster's directing is just really, really good. It's got beautiful cinematography, a really heart-wrenching story. There's some really heartbreaking moments throughout this movie and everything, and it is really sad and stuff, but it also is really, really creepy. I always get her mixed up with it's Toni Collette. Toni Collette is really great in this movie. In fact, I honestly think she should have gotten an Oscar for this movie. Her performance was amazing and everything, and I think it's really kind of a shame that she didn't get nominated just because it's a horror movie, because she did deserve the Oscar for this movie. And it's just a really, really good suspense thriller movie, and I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. I don't want to say what it's about and everything because I don't want to spoil it for you. If you haven't seen it, just go in blind like I did, and you're in for a treat and everything. Hereditary is a really great movie, and it's number 5. And number 4 is A Quiet Place. I absolutely love this movie. It's a really good suspense thriller, sci-fi movie, and everything about this family who is trying to survive in a world where if they make any kind of sounds, they'll automatically be killed by these aliens that have invaded Earth and everything. It's a very intense movie and everything. The movie's only PG-13, but it's one of those movies that feels creepy. It keeps you on the edge of your seat throughout the whole movie. You're scared of what's going to happen to this family. They do a good job making you care about the family, and it's just a really good movie and everything. So A Quiet Place is number 4, and number 3 is Black Panther. I absolutely love this movie. Chadwick Boseman was just so perfect as T'Challa and everything. His performance in this movie was just absolutely amazing. He did such a great job and everything, and so did Michael B. Jordan, who actually stole the show. I still stand by that he stole the show from Chadwick Boseman. He was absolutely amazing in this movie. But both actors did a really great job in here. The story is really good and everything. It's not anything new. There are a lot of movies that are kind of like it. It kind of is like, in some ways, similar to The Lion King and Aquaman, which also came out in 2018, which Aquaman ripped off Black Panther. No, I'm kidding. I'm just joking on that part. But I feel like this movie executed the story really, really well and did it a lot better than Aquaman did. But it's got some really great action and stuff, and the CGI isn't the best at times, but it never is that great in the MCU, so I'm not really complaining too much on that. But this is a really good movie. So Black Panther is number 3, and number 2 is Halloween. Now, I know a lot of people didn't like this new Halloween trilogy, but they did like this movie at least and everything, and I personally like the whole trilogy. I love all 3 of them and everything, and Halloween Kills is one of my absolute favorite movies in the franchise, but this one is too. This is actually one of my favorites as well. In fact, I think this one might be my 3rd favorite after the original and Halloween Kills. It's just a really, really good story. It's a great continuation of that first movie and everything. Jamie Lee Curtis gives a really, really great performance in here and everything. I think her performance was really great, and Andy Maddie was also a great welcome addition to the franchise too. I really love her and everything. Judy Greer's great too. Michael Myers is awesome in this movie and everything. I don't think this is the coolest he is in the franchise, but he is pretty brutal and cool in this one and everything. So I really enjoy Halloween from 2018. It's a really good movie and everything. So Halloween is number 2. And my number 1 favorite movie of 2018 is Avengers Infinity War. This is one of the absolute best MCU movies of all time. It's one of my favorite superhero movies of all time, and it's easily my favorite movie this year. There were a lot of movies that came out that year and everything, but none of them stood out the way Avengers Infinity War did. It was just an epic movie that when I saw it in the theater for the first time, I was just blown away by how crazy it was. But it was a really, really great movie and everything, you know. I absolutely love it, and I still do. I think it's still one of the top MCU movies of all time for sure, and everything. It's one of the best and everything, and I think it deserves its spot on this list at number 1, because it's just one that every time I watch it, I like it a little bit more, and I still do. I love seeing the characters interact with each other, and there's really funny moments and stuff in here, but there's also a lot of heartfelt moments and sad moments and stuff, and they're not afraid to get serious, which is something that the MCU needs to get back to, is being serious when they need to be and comedic when they can be and stuff and everything. This movie balanced the tone really, really well, and I just really love this movie. So, Avengers Infinity War is number 1. So anyway, let me know in the comments what your favorite movies of 2018 are. If you don't want to do a top 10 list, just tell me your favorite movie of that year, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.
Yeah.